What was the purpose? Why were you there?
Basically, I said to Ashley, I'll meet you down at the downs with my dog while I'm walking the dog. I'll change the settings on your camera. You remember the settings, and then your picture should be great. So he had the camera around his neck, and he had the strap on. I changed the settings while he had it around his neck, and I said, right, you're ready to go. But I just said, take some pictures of me from across the grass. So he started taking some pictures of me. So he took them, and they were in focus because I'd done all the settings and everything. So Jack's running around enjoying himself. And then I went over to him and I said, let's have a look at the pictures. And he, you know, took it off, took the strap off, showed me the pictures. But I said, right, put it on. He said, but when I take pictures of people that are moving, that is when they go blurred. So I said, right, there's a speed setting. I've changed it for you. I showed him the setting. I said, what you want to do is just practice. Just take some pictures of some joggers coming up and down the path and the coastal path next to the cliff and that.
Now, important. Is there a clearly designated path?
Yes, there is.
Yeah. And did you stay on that designated path?
Well, I was on the other side, sat on the bench on the grass. Ashley was on the path.
Understood.
But what happened, when I told him to start taking pictures of the joggers and people walking up and down, I don't know what happened, he started turning into Rambo or Bruce Willis out of Die Hard, and he was jumping in the bushes near the side of the cliff, jumping out, papping people, jumping back in the bushes, and I was sat on the other side thinking, what's he doing? All these people were giving him really weird looks, and he's in the bushes, out the bushes, hiding. And I'm like, what are you hiding for?
Just to be clear, were you in and out of the bushes with your strap on?
Yeah. I may have got a bit carried away with the whole day, as it were, but what he's got to understand, I was rubbish at getting people who were walking. And he said to me, he said, listen, if Dawn French walks out of the cafe, you've only got 1 or 2 seconds to get her. He says, you can't be messing around, you need to learn how to do it quick. The mistake I made was this. Previously, I'd taken the camera off to look at the photos. And then I had to do like a 1, 2, 3 sprint up there. And it was easy to go like that than like that.
In respect of the path, was there any public notices making clear that you shouldn't stray beyond that path?
No, and I'll tell you why, because it's a regular dog walking place, and you do see dogs in there and you see people in there.
Understood, but there was no warning sign or hazard sign.
No.
George, what happened next?
I mean, common sense will tell you, obviously don't go too near the cliff, but where the path was, I was over this side, the cliff and the sea and everything's over there, the big cliff. Ashley's jumping out, taking pictures. I'm completely embarrassed. The problem is, Judge, when you see me on the telly taking these pictures and getting thousands of pounds for these pictures, people look at it and go, I could do that. But it's not as easy as that.
What happened?
Ashley kept jumping out, taking pictures of joggers, walkers and all this, and then he kept jumping in and out of the bushes while he was doing different sets, looking at the pictures, and then he went over the ledge, went into the bush, hid in the bush, and then all of a sudden I heard him shouting, oh, and all this. He jumped, he went over the little path bit, into the bush, down into the bushes or whatever, started screaming, jumping, going off, shouting and all this, and I was like, what's going on? And he pops his head up over the thing and he's holding his shoulder, he's like, oh, my shoulder, and all that. And I went up to him and went, your shoulder? What do you mean your shoulder? What about my camera? Where's my camera? And he basically ran over, jumped over in the bush or something, I don't know what happened because I didn't see it because it was on a bit of a ledge. He's dropped the camera down the side of the ledge off the path, and because the ledge comes down quite a bit, I don't know what's happened. It's obviously bounced on the ledge. There's another little rocky bit. It's bounced off the rocky bit and it's gone down the cliff, never to be seen again.
Now, here's a question. Ashley, even if the camera had been attached to you through a strap, do you believe that the camera still would have fallen?
It's an obvious answer.
Thanks for your help there, George.
Do you know what I mean? Did you fall off the cliff? Because if you did, the camera would have.
George, please.
Sorry.
No, it wouldn't have.
Would you have been personally injured, do you think? Do you think you would have fallen off the cliff with the camera if it had been attached to you?
No.
Were you insured for this camera?
I was only insured for me using it and for at home or whatever. But Ashley, when he'd done this with the camera, I went over and I was like, so what we're going to do? And he just went, oh, you just have to claim on your insurance or whatever. So we had a bit of a heated discussion. He was in a bit of pain with his shoulder. I didn't want to stress it out anymore. I thought I'd go home, have a look at my insurance documents, looked at them, and I realised if someone else was using the camera, I wasn't covered for my insurance. So I messaged him and I told him that, and he said, "I'll just say you were using it." And I said, "I'm not doing that because that's insurance fraud."
It would have been illegal.
There's no way I'm going to put a fraudulent claim in because he's made a mistake for $3,000. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not the biggest amount of money in the world.
It's a
the
lot
principle,
of money, sir.
And it's the legalities.
Talking. First of all, it would be fraudulent and very serious. I have to tell you, a criminal offence. You did exactly the right thing. My question is this, sir. One of the things that I have to consider is the extent to which you knew of the potential risks, or were at least aware of them. Taking your boisterous dog, very lovely dog, and an inexperienced cameraman, and allowing him to take valuable property and take photographs at the edge of what is known to be a hazardous cliff.
He wasn't taking pictures with my permission at the edge of a hazardous cliff. He was on a path.
Why do you say this simply wasn't an accident?
Because he was behaving like a complete idiot. And, you know, if you lend somebody something, you expect them to look after it and give it you back in the same condition that they gave it to you. I was very worried about giving him the camera. That's why in these text messages I said to him, if you damage it or there's anything wrong, you take full responsibility. And he agreed to that. Otherwise, I would not have lent him the camera.
Did he shout at you or tell you to stop misbehaving or give you any indication of any kind?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Stop being a
Don't be stupid. Stay and watch the best Judge Rinder moments. And I'm talking. Understood? Don't be a moron. Subscribe to Judge Rinder YouTube channel. Right now. That's an order.